Hi, and welcome to Niko's Wide World of Sports. Today we are going to do a 2026 March Madness breakdown of all the regions with all my predictions in it. We're going to start with the East region, followed by the West, Midwest, and South region. Let's start with the East region. First game, Duke versus Siena. This one's easy. Duke is definitely going to win this one. You never want to underestimate a one seed losing to a 16 seed. Second game is next one is Ohio State versus TCU. This one is toss up, but I'm gonna roll for Ohio State in this one. The next game between St. John's and Northern Iowa. This game, I was very 50-50, like split on it, but I'm backing Rick Pitino, so I'm gonna have to take St. John's in this one. Kansas and Cal Baptist, Kansas in this one. Louisville versus South Florida. This could be a good game, but I have to go with Louisville in this one. Michigan State, definitely over North Dakota State. UCLA and UCF, I'm pretty split on that one, but I'm gonna roll with UCLA in this one. And then between UConn and Furman, that's obviously easy. UConn. So now with the round of 32 between Duke and Ohio State, I think Ohio State can make this game close, but in the end, Duke is just Duke. So I think they'll win that one. St. John's versus Kansas. I'm gonna have to go with St. John's. I think that they're actually just a better, well-rounded team than Kansas. They seem like a Final Four sleeper. A lot of people have said. Louisville, Michigan State. This one is pretty easy. I think Michigan State will win that one. Um, UCLA and UConn. This one, I want to go with UCLA. After what I've been seeing, what UConn's been doing, like getting blown out by certain teams, like Marquette and St. John's. Marquette isn't even that good, but St. John's, they got blown out in um that conference championship game, and that's why I think UCLA is gonna win. And now it's between Duke and St. John's. I think Duke will win this one. And then between Michigan State and UCLA, Michigan State will win. And then for this, and then for my, and then I think Duke will win the region. They will be the team from the East representing in the Final Four. Next region is the West region. Also an easy one. Arizona will beat Long Island. Villanova versus Utah State. I'm gonna have to go with Utah State in this one. Wisconsin and High Point. This one was hard to choose, but Wisconsin's got two of the best guards, so I have to go with Wisconsin. Even though High Point can shoot very well from three downtown. Arkansas and Hawaii, definitely Arkansas in this one. BYU versus Texas or NC State. I have to roll with BYU in that one. Gonzaga and Kennesaw State, that's pretty easy. Gonzaga, Miami, Missouri. I'm actually gonna have to go with Missouri in this one. And Purdue will beat Queens in this one. Between Arizona and Utah State, I think this one, I think Arizona definitely wins. And Wisconsin versus Arkansas, I'm gonna have to go with Arkansas in this one. And BYU versus Gonzaga, I'm gonna roll with Gonzaga in this one. Missouri and Purdue shouldn't it won't be a close game. I think Purdue will win that one. Now to the Sweet 16 between Arizona and Arkansas. Arizona is just too good for Arkansas and Darius Acuff. Gonzaga and Purdue. I think Purdue will win this game but handily. And then Arizona and Purdue. This is going to be an amazing Elite Eight game. But give me Arizona in this one, representing the West in the Final Four. Next region we have the Midwest region. So Michigan will definitely win this one. Georgia versus St. Louis. See, St. Louis was ranked like 21st in the AP Top 25 poll late in the season, but I still have to go with UGA in this one. Texas Tech versus Akron. This one was very much a wild card. I could have definitely seen Akron winning after winning the MAC tournament, but I think Texas Tech will win this one. Alabama and Hofstra, definitely Alabama. Tennessee versus Tennessee will beat Miami, Ohio, SMU. Virginia over White State. Kentucky and Santa Clara. I'm little. I just think Kentucky will probably pull this one out, and then Iowa State over Tennessee State, or over yeah, I would say over Tennessee State. Now to the round of 32, I pick this game. I'm gonna pick um for Michigan to beat Georgia in this one. Texas Tech versus Alabama. I'm gonna have to go with Alabama in this one. Tennessee and Virginia, that's going to be a good game, but I think UVA just got like so they're so good at three pointers. with Chance Mallory and Dicey Ritter. For Kentucky versus Iowa State, I'm going to go with Iowa State in this one. So now Sweet 16, I think Michigan will beat Alabama. And I think Virginia's going to do a slight upset against Iowa State. For the Elite Eight, Michigan versus Virginia, I'm going to have to roll with UVA. I really like their chances this year. The first year head coach Ryan Odom. So they'll be the one representing in the Final Four from the Midwest region. The last region is the South region. And I think Florida will win handily against Lehigh or Prairie View A&M. Clemson versus Iowa, that's a hard one, but I have to roll with Clemson in this one. Vanderbilt and McNeese. This one could be an interesting game, but still give me Vanderbilt in this one. Nebraska over Troy. Um, North Carolina VCU. This is probably the biggest upset of the one I'm choosing, but I'm gonna pick VCU to win in the Battle of the Ram mascots. Illinois versus Penn. I think Illinois will win this one. St. Mary's and Texas A&M. Give me Texas A&M in a 10-7 upset. And Houston easily beats Idaho. Now to the round of 32, I have Florida versus Clemson. Definitely Florida will win. Vanderbilt versus Nebraska. I think this is a very close one, but I think Nebraska's going to win in the end. They started 20-0 this year. So yeah. VCU versus Illinois. Give me Illinois in this one and Houston in this one too. Sweet 16, Florida versus Nebraska. I'm gonna have to go Florida, the reigning national champions to the Elite Eight, and Houston over Illinois. And for the final one, I think Houston's going to beat Florida. I think the defending national champions will be out in the Elite Eight. Now to the Final Four, Duke versus Houston. This will be a great game, and I think Duke from last year. It's a rematch of the Final Four from last year, and Duke gets its revenge on Houston after losing to them last year. Between Arizona and Virginia, I think this will be a good game, but I think in the end, Arizona will win. And then for the national championship between Duke and Arizona, this should be a classic game, probably the best game. But give me Arizona to win the whole thing, and I think there'll be 158 total points scored. So if submit the bracket, and that's and thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to see all my latest sports content.
All right, so we'll hit stop recording.